Welcome back to my road to completion guide for Uncharted Drake's Fortune Remastered. This is episode 21, and we're going to be farming for the 2 trophies that we talked about back in episode 20. That's 20 kills with the Desert 5 and 50 kills with the M4. Now remember, you guys can choose to farm for these 2 trophies after we finish our crushing playthrough. Again, I will leave that up to you guys. But notice what we're doing here, guys. We're just rushing to the left-hand side of the map all the way to the back. And we want to get back here as quick as possible because when we do, it forces these enemies to play to the right-hand side of the map. Okay, we're on the left, they end up being on the right, and we get these sweet angles on them. You guys can see that I'm taking out these enemies with the Desert 5. Only have to get 20 kills. So what you guys want to do is clean this back alley out with as much ammo as you have in your gun, and then load your game and rinse and repeat until you guys are able to pick up the 20 kills. Now, if you run out of Desert 5 and you want to also farm for the M4 kills trophy, that's 50 kills with the M4. As soon as you're out of ammo with the Desert 5, go ahead and switch to the M4. Get you as many kills as you can until you run out of ammo with that gun, and then load your game. That way you're working on both trophies at once. Now, I have to make you guys aware that if you're going to be farming for these 2 trophies here, you do have to keep your head on a swivel. Oh, notice, see how the enemy's flashing me on the left? And notice here, as soon as I run over here to the steps, there's going to be more enemies. So you kind of have to patrol that corner. You have to be looking to the left and to the right. Look, if they come out and they kill you guys, then you're just going to restart at the checkpoint and try again, right? But you want to get as many kills as possible with your ammo. Notice that I only have 6 more shots in my M4. All my Desert Eagle ammo has been used, so I'm trying to maximize how many kills I get before I have to load my game. You see what I mean? That way I'm not going to take as much time to farm in this area for these 2 trophies. Now, I also want to make you guys aware of one enemy that can be a little bit aggravating as you're trying to get into that first position from the checkpoint. There's an enemy up top that you guys cannot see, but he's up there, and he sometimes will kill you guys as you're running past these crates. One thing you can do to avoid his gunfire is try to roll or move in like a zigzag pattern. Notice here. Boom. See, sometimes he can kill you, and that's very frustrating, and that's what I'm telling you guys about waiting until after we finish the crushing difficulty. I had to put these 2 trophies here because this is the first time we have access to these guns. And again, I don't want our trophies popping at different times, or at least I don't want my trophies popping later than yours. Does that make sense? Because if you guys play this area 20 times because maybe you're having a hard time getting through it and you just happen to have the Desert 5, remember, all the kills count. You guys are going to be picking up the trophy, and if I'm waiting until the end of the crushing playthrough, that kind of defeats the purpose of the guide. So that's what I'm saying. Some of you guys can farm for these trophies here, but just know it is a little bit aggravating, especially if that enemy keeps killing you after checkpoint. Trust me, that's extremely aggravating. But once you get back here in this position, as long as you can watch both sides of that piece of cover, you guys will be good to go, right? Work both of those guns at the same time, try to maximize the amount of kills you get before you have to load your game. Farm for those 2 trophies, and like I said, if you guys don't want to do this, I'll show you where to chapter select to once we finish crushing, and you guys can pick those 2 trophies up then. Just have one more clip to show you guys here. This is me getting the M4 trophy, 50 kills with the M4. And then of course I'm going to load back in and we're going to play this combat area from scratch. It's pretty much going to be a carbon copy of what you guys are seeing now. We're going to control this back alley spawn back here. There's me loading my game. Got both of those trophies. Now again, some of you may not have those trophies. That's fine. You guys can pick them up after our crushing playthrough. All right, so let's talk about strategy for this combat area. Go ahead and break to the left like we did before. Go all the way down to the end. But notice what happens here. The enemy flashes out, and I have to take cover behind the crates. You guys see that? You have to be ready. Sometimes one enemy or maybe even 2 will flash out like that randomly. Most of the time they go back to the right. You guys can go ahead and control this engagement and get yourself some kills. You don't really have to worry about the enemies to the right of you yet. It's only after you thin these enemies out in this back alley you have to worry about the enemies coming down the steps. Okay, so notice I just picked up what, 3 or 4 kills there. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 enemies back here still, or maybe they've already pushed into the center of the courtyard. There's the enemy right there. So as you guys are thinning these enemies out, then you want to start to look down toward where those steps are, right? Because that's when the next wave of enemies spawns into the map. And if my count is right, that should be enough to, yep, see how the enemies are coming down the steps now, but notice my body position. I'm protected, got the camera over my right shoulder, getting those sweet angles, right? That's exactly what you guys want to do. The trick to this whole area is to clean out the back part of this map first. When you know that everybody back there is dead, then you can start to focus on the steps. Does that make sense? Now I'm getting shot here because there's an enemy up above. Most of the time, Elena will kill this enemy for you, and I thought in my game she had killed him. But notice it's this enemy right here. Just keep backing up slowly so you can see his head, and boom, take him out. So the way that this works, guys, the priority when you first enter this map is to clear out this back part where we are right now. You see what I mean? Then you want to go to phase 2, which is taking out the enemies that come down the steps. Phase 3, make sure the enemy up top is dead. Hopefully Elena picks him up for you. And this is phase number 4. Now sometimes with this phase, the enemies will rush you coming down the steps. If they do, you guys can blind fire kill them. If not, go ahead and pick up this angle right here, get you some shots on target. When you kill all the enemies on the top platform, beware, there are still enemies in the other room. You guys want to proceed with caution, get to the top of the stairs and take some cover, okay? Once you guys make it up here, these enemies will rush you and you guys can kill all these enemies using blind fire. Now I'm going to be time-lapsing some of this footage here. All I'm doing, guys, is running around picking up ammo. You guys should do the same thing. I also want to bring this point up. It is possible for Elena to die in this section, okay? If you don't kill these enemies quick enough, they will end up killing her, and that's going to cause you guys to restart the checkpoint, and that will restart you guys outside of this area. You have to do the entire sequence over again. There is no checkpoint in the middle of this combat sequence. Only when it's done do you get a checkpoint, okay? So you have to be careful of that. You have to be a little bit speedy with your process to get through this because you definitely don't want her to die and you guys have to go back to your checkpoint, okay? Go ahead and platform around this room. We're gonna kick the gate open. We're gonna come down here and work on getting another treasure. It's to your left, and that's gonna be the jeweled silver cross. That's gonna be treasure 37 of 61. After you guys grab this treasure, go ahead and turn around. You're gonna see some red barrels. Shoot those, and that's gonna give Elena a pathway to get to our side of the map. And then she's gonna help us open up this door so we can get into the next combat area. And of course, I'm gonna pick up there once we hit episode 22. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you right back here in the next one. Be good.
Brace the gate open. You ready?
Okay, let it go. Gently. Ah!